catch you guys a little later. Sorry about that. I don't have a lot of guys with early class here today, so that was the other thing we had going for us. So I got a lot of things in. We did a lot of mental stuff as far as going through some of our zone execution plays. Added some stuff today in preparation for Howard. We'll do more of their stuff tomorrow and on Saturday. But a little bit of a break here early in the season, which is we don't get that often. But we had yesterday off. Today we went long, but didn't do a lot of contact. And tomorrow we'll get back after it and ready to go. So looking forward to it. Did some good things, obviously, against Fresno. We got a big lead, and I wish we could have done it for 40 minutes and sustained it all the way through. But obviously we got got a lot of guys minutes. Got guy walk-ons in there, and I think a team that'll be in the 100 or below RPI-wise if they can stay healthy, as we know, and that's a good league. And as the numbers indicated, and as they were, I saw in their stats or their thing that they put out there where they call themselves the best league in the country. Well, give them credit. Last year, in the numbers-wise, they figured it out and had a lot of good teams, and they were number one in RPI. So, that's something that we have to look at, obviously.
Derek was just in here and said you guys are watching some film and looking at mistakes from Fresno State.
Well, a lot of good things now. A lot of good things. I pointed those out. Now let's see. You got to throw out a lot of positives and then make corrections at the same time. I read that somewhere. So there's got to be a lot of positives and reinforcement, but also some things that we point out there. So yeah, a lot of good things.
Those corrections, you guys have sort of had a focus game to game. Oh, going back to the scrimmages and the exhibitions. Any of those in particular for Sunday?
Well, against the zone, particular things. Obviously, they attacked the high post, which we hadn't seen them do against Irvine, and that's where they hurt us in the second half. And you got to find things, and we didn't. Once in a while, they're going to get it in there, but it became too often, and didn't seem that we adjusted well enough or understood. So, I didn't think we played with the same intensity in the second half, and I think that was reflective in the score, where we only outscored them by a few buckets rather than. But, some could say it's hard to do. I can say, it's not an excuse, and we got to try to do a better job. And we have goals to reach, and that goals count for 40 minutes. So that was the main thing on the defensive end. Offensive end, we execute our plays, we execute our OBs pretty well. I think finishing, we thought we missed a lot of layups, good drives, good execution, and we didn't finish. And obviously we didn't shoot it great from the outside, but we made our free throws and took care of the ball. So I would say the main thing offensively we did was finishing on contact and going up strong and trying to get fouled and finishing at the same time.
Do you have an early outlook on Howard?
I watched film on them. I watched the first guy. I didn't get to watch the Old Dominion game. I'm going to go watch that right now. So they played last night, and we have that one. So pressing, a different team than last year. Obviously, we play them. They're part of this tournament, as I made that clear to our players. So this is the schedule. These teams are 4 games here coming up. We signed up for the Legends, which is one of the best ones. We signed up a number of months ago, and you never know who you're going to get. But we got Howard and Lehigh in these 2 games, and then obviously the 4 teams that are part of the tournament in New York. So it's one of the best tournaments. It's Brooklyn. It's national TV. It's all the things we want to be part of.
When you play zone, as you did on, I forget what day it was, Tuesday? Monday? Yep. I'm losing track of days. When you play zone, is that what you expect from your rebounding game, guys to be in positions like that?
No, but again, I don't think that, they went small. We anticipated them going with the 4 guards, which they often did. And so I felt with the zone that we would not get hurt as much against them because of the rebound. Now, granted, they had good shooters in there, but I felt we could get out to them and not suffer with interior scoring or second shots against them. So there's give and take with everything you do. I've always talked about zone being an issue on the offensive glass, but it's something we're working on. It's something that we got to focus on when we do play the zone.
But it was a pretty decided edge, defensive rebounds that Pitt had.
Well, they didn't have any offensive rebounds in the first half, which is remarkable considering in any game, let alone when you're playing zone. So yeah, I think it's like I've been saying, the difference with this team is we have guards that rebound well. We have good-sized guards, and I think it fits us a little better in that regard. We're still pretty aggressive with it. We got a lot of turnovers out of it, and it's something that we've been using all year long. exhibitions included, and we used a lot last year for periods of time. I mean, you change with the game, and you change with your personnel, and obviously we've done that at times. But we've got to get better in our man-to-man defense. That's going to be our bread and butter, and we've got improvements to make. But I anticipate that we've got the big guys haven't quite got what we need to got to where we need to get to, and so we've got to get to that point.
Derek said that the zone, you don't have to use quite as much energy in it. Is this something that, knowing how
I
you
don't agree
value
with
defense,
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that, and we point out, we just watched film and point out some areas where he could use a little more of that energy. But I think he's not guarding on the ball screens, and I think that's always the challenge for the big guys, and they haven't had to do it. We're in high school, and that's the challenge. They obviously so oftentimes are kept in the zone, so they don't have to go do those things and stay out of foul trouble. But we really prepare our big guys. I mean, I think you see a Steve and able to play right away because that's what they do in the NBA, guard ball screens out on the perimeter, and he's able to do it better than most because of it's something that we teach and do. And you can see with all of our big guys, they're able to do that. You can't sit in the zone in the NBA and saving your energy, I guess, to put it. Use Derek words, but you just got to find where it's the same energy, same focus. Maybe you're not guarding on the perimeter, but you are the level of intensity and concentration remains the same.
You said the other night that he kind of surprised you with how well he finishes, his touch around the basket. Is that something you'll continue to try and explore and use more?
Well, I mean, when I say that, it's based on we made that conclusion in the summer. Once he got here, and so that was something that we saw. Given his scoring over the years wasn't the 2 years wasn't and obviously we knew him in high school as well. But he has a good touch and a good feel around the basket. I think the thing we're working with him is balance and patience at the same time prior to that. So. That's I think he's got the ability. It was a nice play we just watched on film where we swung it, he ball screened and rolled to position and got a seal, and we reversed it all the way around. And he got a layup, and so there's ways to finding those spots is what he needs to. I don't know that he ever thought that you could ball screen on one side of the floor and end up getting a layup after reversal on the other side. So, but that ball screen led to that post up. So that's what we're trying to get across, those types of things.
You pleased with the contributions you've got from the younger guys, the new guys so far? Seems like they fit in.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting better. They're great kids, and they're hard workers. They're loyal, and they've gone through some ups and downs. But I think they respond. I think Jamel's responded well to some practice well and didn't show it in the games, and just came back and has made some improvements. So that's good to see. Josh picks things up and he's a good player. He's got him we got him playing two positions, where we got another guy that can play the two with James in there. So, I think there's no question. I mean, when you talk about Derek being a newer guy, he's a junior but a newer guy. I think that's key. So, Chris has played better in practice. Played a little better in the last game, and that was good to see. And so, I think when you say the freshmen, I think when you talk about the newer guys, I'm excited about where that. Mike's obviously doing a very good job. He kind of picked things up pretty quick early, and that was something we saw in the summer. He's just pretty good mind for the game and a toughness about him. That's it's good to see and something we can work with. And he's doing a great job.
I think James is almost filtering his shots a little bit still when he's on the ball. Are you encouraging him to shoot more?
We're encouraging him to shoot. I think shot selection. I mean, I think sometimes he waits till end of clock situations to shoot and doesn't get the high percentage shot. And so we've talked to him about a couple things. I mean, we haven't shot it great. I don't know why. I mean, it's we've shot it well in the scrimmages, the exhibitions, but. I'm confident in our shooting. I think at times he passes up some open ones and ends up taking more at the end of the clock. But he needs. It's good to see. We just watched one where he finished at the rim, and I think that's something that he's got to do more. He's a good athlete with good size, and he's going to be bigger than most guys guarding him. He needs to get to the rim more and explode to the basket at the end of his drive. So but his defense has been terrific. His unselfishness, his leadership has been terrific. But I